Hey folks, it's Jeff. I'm back with another video. If you want to learn how to make your knife razor sharp, follow along. I'm going to show you how. Alright everyone, so I got this knife here. This is a Benchmade pocket knife. I don't remember what model. The Osborne, if you can see that. Anyway, this knife, I use it every single day on all kinds of things. As you can see, it's all scuffed up, but you know, it's held its edge for a pretty long time. I haven't sharpened it in a while, but I don't know if you can see that or not. It needs touched up right now. It's not very sharp. It will cut, but not very well. So to fix that, I'm going to show you how I sharpen my knives. Now, I'm not a professional, never been trained by anybody, but I could be doing it wrong, I don't know. But I'll show you the way I do it, and it seems to work pretty well for me. So right here I have a KME precision knife sharpening system. I got this for when I wanted to learn how to resharpen my own broadheads for hunting, and this works for me really well. But it's really a knife sharpener, and you can use it for whatever kind of knives you want. Pocket knives, buck knives, kitchen knives, whatever. And then I also have this strap, leather strap. This really sets it apart from the rest, all the other sharpening systems. You get a leather strap, and you can make these pocket knives shave hair, you know, really easy. So follow along. I'm going to show you how I set this thing up, and we're going to make this knife razor sharp again. Here is the KME knife sharpener. Got it all set up. These are my 4 stones that it came with. I believe you can get more stones, but this is the kit that it came with for me. I bought this thing several years ago. We got a 140, 300, 600, and 1500 grit. Most of the time I don't even use this 140. The edge has to be really tore up for me to want to pull that out. So most of the time you're never going to use this. But if you had any major gouges and you needed to reset the bevel, that's what you'd probably use that. If you just need to touch up a couple things, 300, but for the most part I'm using these two right here. The 600 and 1500. So I'll show you how this works here. So this clamps your blade in, and then you can flip this. Oh, let me show you. Let me get this all set up. Get you realigned here. So, stick your blade in there, right? Now, this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way, however you wish. Some people set it up just like that. I tend to kind of move it right in the middle of the blade. And what I'm looking for is the tip of the blade. If you're looking at it this way, the tip, and I guess you'd say this the heel maybe of the blade, are somewhat the same distance from the jig. This is how I do it. Now go ahead and tighten this up. Now it's in here. And the nice thing about this is that when you're sharpening one side, you can flip this jig and it's the exact same on the other side. You don't have to constantly reset this. It keeps the perfect bevel. Whatever bevel you set, it'll be the same each side through this whole process. I never take it out of this jig. Right? So this doesn't have too many gouges. I am going to use the 300 just for a little bit. It won't take much. So you set this stone in here, just like that. Now, one thing I will need to do, I need a Sharpie. Alright, I'm back. So, what I'm going to do is I got a Sharpie and I'm just going to paint the blade. You'll see why in a minute. I'll do this to both sides. It's more important that you get this outside cutting edge, not so much up higher. What the Sharpie does is tell you what you are sharpening and what you're not sharpening. Okay, so get you all set up. Now, let me spin this around. To start with, I like to eyeball the beveled edge here. So, I'm pretty sure this is the last knife I sharpened with this anyway, but it's close. What we're going to do is a couple light strokes just to see what the, if you can see that, the Sharpie is missing right along the edge. So I've sharpened this before, and it looks about perfect. So I didn't have to change it. If you did, all you'd have to do is loosen up this knob right here, and it would change the angle. It would change the angle of your bevel. Like I said, this, we had a collapse. Now, sorry, I'm trying to do this on a small table here. Okay. So, it doesn't need much of this 300. This 300 is really chew. So, it won't take very much. And what I'm doing here, you notice, I'm kind of going at this little bit of a slight angle. See that? Full strokes of the stone, and then I get to this side and I kind of switch my direction of my angle. I've seen some people that just go straight forward and back. And you can do that too. I'm just saying this is what works for me. Now, that whole blade's covered pretty good. You can see it and you can feel it. Now on the back, I'm dragging my finger along, feeling for a burr. I don't feel much of one yet. So I'm gonna keep going. Now I can feel burr. This side feels smooth. I can feel the slightest burr or roll on the other side. Take my rag and wipe off the metal. Yeah, you should feel a nice even burr all the way along. It's not that big, but it's enough to your finger can feel it. Now, I still got the 300 stone. I'm gonna flip it over and do the same thing. I guess I could mark up this side again because I think I rubbed it off. Just to make sure. Now the bevel hasn't changed, so from one side of the blade to the other it's the exact same. You see that? Some of that, I don't know if you can tell, some of that marker still stayed, but the very edge is going away, so that's really all I care about. If you don't like the marker on there, you can always rub it off. Okay, now the burr that was on this side is now on the back side, and you can feel it. You're chasing that burr back and forth over and over again, but that's enough for that 300 stone. We're going to move up to the 600. Okay, so I got the 600 stone on here now. And I'm just going to start off on the same side that I just stopped with the 300 stone. This is more it's just a little bit finer, cleaning up that bevel just a little bit more from that 300 grit. You can kind of you might even be able to hear the difference. I feel it for the burr still. It's still there. Now you might not be able to tell with the camera, but there's almost like a better shine to it right now. It's getting finer and finer than all those little grooves from the stone. Obviously with a 600 grit stone, it's going to be smoother than the 3. That's kind of what we're going for. The edge is set. Sorry, got interrupted by a phone call. Okay, so now we're back on this first side again. The burr is up here now. So what we're going to do, we'll get the 600 grit. It's going to hit this side. Cover every inch of this blade. You can feel when you get when the burr is gone. I just go back and forth a few times. It don't take much, especially if there's no major grooves to fix from the blade and the bevel's already set. The 600 and 1500 grit stones go quick. The majority of your time will be spent with the coarser grit if there's anything, if you're trying to fix any bevel issues. Okay, so now there's an even, small but even burr on the back side. That's all we're doing, is chasing that burr back and forth. If you think of your blade like this, you got a bevel here and a bevel here, and that burr kind of curls. And when you sharpen this side, it curls that burr back over this way, and so you're kind of chasing it back and forth. You can feel what I mean. It's very small. Alright, so that was 600. Now we're going to switch to 1500. Okay. Same thing. It's even finer and it's got a different sound than the 600 did too. You can hear it working. I'm not pushing too hard, letting the stone do the work. I have a little bit of downward pressure, but really not that much. Okay, flip the blade. As like you see, I'm kind of going like at an angle this way and then an angle this way. So this is the stone. I'm trying to go at a little bit of an angle this way and a little bit of an angle this way. So I guess on a very microscopic level, when you're using stones, there's slight grooves. So I don't know. Someone told me that a long time ago. I'm just going with it. Like I said, I'm not a professional. Don't take what I say for gospel. This is just what I do, and it works really well. So we got this side done. Now the burr is again on the back side, smaller and smaller each time. What we're going to do is, now that we've done both sides with the highest grit that we're going with, in this case the 1500. Now we need to try to get rid of that burr and kind of chase it away. Now what I like to do is just do upstrokes, no downstrokes. No downstrokes. I don't know if that really makes a difference, but that's just kind of what I do. Do a couple upstrokes, sorry. And then the burr on the back side is almost gone. Or there's almost no burr on the other side, I should say. There was a little bit, so you might have to chase it back and forth. So like I said, I do a couple upstrokes. Slightest burr there. Fewer and fewer strokes each time. Not much of one. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Get a piece of paper. Now that same blade that was dull. Ooh, see, buttery. Butter. That's pretty sharp already. Now, what I do still is a strap. Now let's see if I get some better light here. I don't know if you can really tell. It's sharp, but I think it could be sharper. So on this strop, there's a, I guess, more of a rough side and a smooth side. You can see that shine. I do the rough side first. With a strop, you never want to pull towards you. This is just leather. It'll cut right into that. You only work away. So since it's got a curve to it, I like to start kind of like with the tip and just, I'm not putting much pressure at all. What you also want to do is match your bevel. So this might be harder. It takes time. All this takes time, practice. But the angle at which you're holding your knife, you want your bevel to be, I guess, hold it up so your bevel is the only thing that touches the leather, right? You can see how I start at the tip and work away. We're going to do that a few times, and you might even find a burr from this. And so you're going to chase that kind of back and forth. Now, I'm trying to hold you guys here. I've done the rough side. I'm going to do the smooth side. Sometimes it helps with two hands. Let's see if I can do this. Now with this harder section of leather here, you can feel if you do have a burr or not. This one feels pretty smooth. I think I did a pretty good job of getting rid of that burr. Now, however many times I do this to one side, I'm doing it to the other. Unless you feel something. You can literally make a, at least the way I sharpen this, I think what I'm doing is getting rid of that burr. I could be wrong. But you can kind of chase that burr back and forth with a strop too. Even if you have the slightest burr or roll, very, very slight, you can usually fix it with a strop. You might not have to go with any of these stones. Just kind of depends. Sometimes you could use this strop every week or so, a couple days even, if you just want to buff your blade again. Now, I don't know if you can really tell the difference, but this blade it's almost mirror-like on that cutting edge. It's buffed. It's a lot shinier. Let's see what that did with our paper. It was pretty sharp before, but let's see. Ooh, that's pretty sharp. Let's see here. That's pretty sharp, folks. Every time you use this, every time you use your blade, it gets duller. Never gets sharper. So keep that in mind. Let's see if we got long sleeves on today. Let's see. Now don't try this at home, okay? Let's see if it shaves. I'd say so. That's pretty darn sharp. You could shave with that. Wouldn't recommend it, but that's kind of the old test, right? Can it shave hair? So, I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm new to this video thing. I'm doing tutorials. I don't know. I've been sharpening my own knives for years. I really do like this jig. There are a couple other brands and styles out on the market. At the time, this was the only one that I found like this, and pretty good quality, I'd say. You know, I sharpen all my pocket knives with this, all my hunting knives with this. I even sharpen my broadheads with this. Now this one was shot, and I believe this was this one needs to be sharpened, so maybe I'll do another video on that, but if you guys like this. But these are my broadheads. And even they could be in this jig. See that? So this is why I bought this, but I obviously use it way more now for sharpening my knives than I do broadheads. But it's turned out great for me. Comes in this little carry case, just like here. Doesn't come with a strap. You can get that on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. I don't remember how much I paid. I think at the time for this sharpener I paid probably around $200 for it. It seemed pretty expensive, but I'm pretty happy with my purchase because this thing sharpened many pocket knives. Even my prior boss, he used to send me home with his pocket knife all the time because he'd dull them up like crazy. And takes me about 5 minutes and 5-10 minutes, depending how bad it is, and it's razor sharp again. Obviously, the more quality of a blade that you have, the longer your edge is going to stay sharp. These Benchmades, these are some of the nicest blades or nicest knives I've ever owned. By far the sharpest knife out of the box I've ever owned. I usually take them once I buy them, put them on the sharpener, and I can get them razor sharp, because most of the time from the factory they're not that sharp. But these Benchmades, they're very nice. So I'm going to show you how to put this thing away. Very nice. It comes in its own little carry case. Take this apart. I take just a rag I use to wipe the metal dust off. Just like that. Okay. There's my strap. So, if you guys like that kind of thing, let me know. Never done a tutorial before, but hey, I'll do it again, I guess. Maybe I'll do another one on sharpening the broadheads. These little guys. Since it is hunting season, get your stuff ready. Get broadheads that are sharp and durable. None of those cheap Chinese ones. No offense. Yeah. Get your pocket knives. Hopefully you guys are gutting deer soon, or whatever you do. That's what I'm hoping to be doing soon. I just got my hunting knives all sharpened, ready to go. And yeah, so hopefully I can come up with something else to show you guys. I don't know yet. Like I said, I'm just kind of fiddling around with this YouTube thing. Never done it before. If there's something specifically you'd like to see, maybe I know how to do it, or maybe I don't. I don't know. Tell me what you think of this one, and we'll see you on the next one, okay? Bye.